Dear Boomers, today I'm so happy because Kamala chose Tim Walz as her running mate. And we were going to wait until this evening to learn, but it got leaked and now we know. Because Tim Walz is a very relatable character, gentleman. Because, he has eugenics children. He appeals to the youth because of he has a progressive attitude towards the war in Gaza. He's not a pro-Zionist as Josh Shapiro would have been and still is. The Zionist attitude is not appropriate for this day and age. When I was a child, we had a doctor that was Jewish, and his attitude towards the Palestinians was typical of today, considering that the Palestinians were subhuman. I was young, but I knew that was so wrong, so wrong. Oh my goodness. I told my mom, who understood what I was talking about, and my doctor was my parents' best friends at the time. We would go there and have fun with their kids, but nevertheless, that kind of attitude doesn't have any room in the world, and yet it is very common. And I think Josh Shapiro could have been targeted as a Zionist, and in today's world, it's not going to fly. Now, Josh is great, and I'm glad we can stay with him here in the state of Pennsylvania. We love him, and we can keep him to ourselves, and maybe in the end he will do something in the administration. But Tim Walz, none of us really knew much about Tim Walz, except that he was like an everyman's person. He served in the military, which is great. I think Josh Shapiro may have served in the Israeli military, which is controversial. It's controversial in today's world where Israel is doing bad things. Tim Walz was the one who coined the word weird, and as I just mentioned, Bernie was whom he wanted to see as the vice presidential pick, and he is. So, it's like the word unburdened suddenly is lifted from my shoulders. The feeling of being unburdened in this crazy, crazy cycle that we have been living through, I would say since, for me, 2015. And then watching Donald Trump act the way he acts towards women, towards Hillary, the way he acts towards people, towards disabled people. And I saw a movie yesterday about the Trump organization building a golf course in Scotland. Just completely unresponsive to the people who already live there. And in fact, in building that golf course, he completely destroyed the water for the people who live there. And to make matters worse, when the people who live there started speaking out against Donald Trump and his mafia family, when that started to happen, they targeted these people and hate crimes. And they were just living a life. They lived a life that was close to the earth. And of course, that would be reprehensible to people like Donald Trump and his like. So this gentleman who refused to leave the golf course and had to buy bottled water. In the movie, it was related to Flint, Michigan, the water crisis in Flint. Nobody was paying much attention. Our elected officials were not doing enough for Flint, Michigan. And here we have these poor souls out there in the Scottish rural areas, and Donald Trump and going out there and actually building $1 million homes. And what this guy did, he fixed up a tractor. He went out into the golf course, he dug it up and figured out what was wrong with the pipes. He fixed it all up and was able to bring the water back to the people who live there. That is heroism. He's a hero, this guy. I forget the name of the movie. I think it might be easily Googleable. But this is what it's all about, people. We don't hurt the little people. In the name of Donald Trump, and this is the way Donald Trump has always been acting. He could care less about anybody. And in fact, his nephew, Fred Trump III, recently revealed what Donald Trump said about his disabled son, that Donald told his nephew, Fred III, that he should let his son die because, he said, your son doesn't even recognize who you are, which is, of course, untrue. And he said, you should just let him die. Now, this is something that needs to get out there. That is so cruel, so cruel. It's like appallingly cruel. So we will be unburdened when Donald Trump loses the election. He is so not good for all of us. And he's been around for so long, and has been disrespecting everybody that gets in his way for years. His racism dates back to when his father and Donald wouldn't allow black people to live in the apartments that they had erected for people. That's when it all began. And then the Central Park Five, that was appalling. He accused 5 young black men of killing the jogger who was killed. And I don't even think they ever found the people who did it. But Donald Trump immediately took out a full-page ad in the New York Times and blamed these people and said they should be put on death row. Well, they didn't do it. And in fact, 1 or 2 of those Central Park 5 young men are running for the government. They are running for the government and government positions in New York City. I'm glad that they were able to not be radicalized against they aren't radicalized against the U.S. government, which would be so easy to do. So that was the Central Park Five. Then when the World Trade Center was hit, Donald Trump, and I remember this well, he said that there were a group of Muslim men on another side of the city who were laughing and cheering because the World Trade Center had been bombed. Not true. So everything he says is a lie. It's about time we get this guy out of our lives. This is terrible, especially for women. He brags about ending Roe v. Wade. Everything that happens that for the good of the country, he disrespects. As I believe it was Ben Masalas who put that on his podcast the other day. They made a big note of everything he's un-American, basically. So, I like Tim Walz. I would have liked any one of these people. They're all good. I think Tim Walz, though, has things on his feet, and so does Josh Shapiro. But like I said, he has some history that may not go over very well and would be easy to mess up. Tim Walz is a great thinker on his feet. He is secure and confident in the way he expresses himself. He was actually a school teacher for many years, and he was an active member of the military for a number of years, which of course always plays well in America. So maybe it's time to realize that our flag is everybody's flag. The American flag has been co-opted by the maggots. And we deserve to believe in our flag as well. My mom was always opposed to waving the American flag because it was nationalistic. I think it's time to embrace the American flag. Nobody should co-opt our own patriotism. We are patriotic people. We want freedom for our people. And that's what Kamala Harris and Tim Walz promises to deliver. And there's a film that comes up Please subscribe to my channel. I love you all, and comment. I know you don't like some of this, and comment. Bye.